Good.
Yes, sir. We are live. Welcome to another exciting episode of Technology Tuesday. I'm your host, Greg Russell, here with my partner and co host, Mr. Jerry Franklin Poe. Thank you for being here. And today we got an exciting show for you guys. I can't wait to dive in. We're going to run through a few things. This is what we're going to talk about today.
Greg, I lost your audio.
All right, you got my back?
Yep,
Back
you're
now?
back now.
Okay, cool. All right. Got some technical difficulties, no worries. We're going to talk about the Mindset Minute. It's going to be our first segment today with Mr. Jerry Franklin Poe. So these changes that I made have the audio knocked out, so I will just fix that when I go to each one. So we have some industry news. There's some things going on in the industry that you need to know about. And we also have the app of the week. We have a couple apps I want to share with you, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And then we will talk about our main content, which is the automated VSLs and webinars in GoHighLevel. So that's what we're going to cover today. And if you know someone who should be watching us right now, make sure you let them know that Technology Tuesday is happening right now. Let us know that you are tuning in. Hashtag live if you are joining us live. Hashtag replay if you are joining us on the replay. And let us know where you're tuning in from. With that, we're about to dive into today's show right now.
All right.
Man, listen, I'm so glad to be back for another episode. And we're gonna dive in, man. We're not gonna waste no time. Jerry, I want to introduce the Mindset Minute. I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and we're about to jump into the Mindset Minute right now.
Awesome, Greg. So I have a question for you off the top of your head. Testing your memory. What were you worried about a year ago today?
Huh. What was I worried about a year ago today? It was
Yeah, don't hurt
probably
yourself. Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself. I can see how perplexed you are right now.
Yeah,
And the reality
man, a year
is
ago,
you
I was
probably
like,
don't remember. You don't remember. You probably don't remember.
I
But at the time, it seemed important. At the time, it seemed important. And folks, what I want to share with you today as part of the Mindset Minute is the idea of keeping things in perspective. Keeping things in perspective. A lot of what we're dealing with on a daily basis, it seems insurmountable in the moment. It seems like it's just too much. It's too big of an issue, too big of a problem. There's a song I used to listen to back in the day, Greg. You might remember it. It was from a group called the Winans, and they would say, it's no need to worry what the night's going to bring, because in the morning it'll be all over. So the morning is coming. That's what I want you to know. The morning is coming. And worry is not an empowering state to be in. And a lot of people are worrying about things they have no control over. One of the concepts I learned from Stephen Covey in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, is learning how to separate what you're concerned about from what you have influence over to what you have direct control over. And too often we are focusing all of our energies, focusing our mindset and our actions on things that we are concerned about, but we have no direct control over. And in these moments when things seem insurmountable, keeping it all in perspective, know that things are challenging in life. They're always going to be there, but focus on what you can influence, and more importantly, focus on what you have direct control over, and let everything else take care of itself. So when you put your efforts into the things that you have direct control over, and some of the stuff that you can influence and what's going to happen, then the worry disappears, the worry dissipates. And always remember that, the morning is coming, and the morning will be here sooner than you realize it.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for that Mindset Minute. Listen, guys, this episode is sponsored by letsgotoday.com, where you can get a morning routine app to help you, one, stay top of mind on the things that are important to you. And as Jerry said, you can just not worry about everything else that you don't have control over. So, again, this session is sponsored by letsgotoday.com, which is a morning routine app. Make sure you grab that. It is vital to your success as an entrepreneur that you stay focused on your goals and put them in places and do things to achieve them every single day. With that, Jerry, man, thank you again for Mindset Minute. All right, cool, man. So listen, we are going to push right into our industry news. There's some things happening in industry that you need and should be aware of, and that is what's going on with some of the domain names, right? So I got a little bit of information, and let's see if we can pull it up right quick. All right, cool. So industry news. Now, if you've been paying attention, you might have heard some rumbling that IO domains are going away. So basically, this is .io. So Jerry, I'm going to challenge you, man. I know that there are some lot of popular internet software services that use this .io, but what do you think the .io stands for?
I have no idea. I never knew what it stood for. Information organization. I don't know. Like what
uh,
what
uh,
was it supposed to be? I thought it was just. I thought it was like people were running out of .com, so they were like, okay, let me just come up with something different.
yeah, so the .io, I thought it was Internet Online or something like that, right? But no, the .io is basically one of the CCTLD. So let's break down what that is first, so you guys can understand what a CCTLD is. And so a CCTLD is a country code top level domain. So country code top level domain. So basically, if you're familiar with this, then the IO stands for Indian Ocean. It's a British territory in the Indian Ocean, and a lot of these top level domains you've already heard of, like .us, .ca for Canada,
Right.
.au for Australia, .uk, right? So they're
Right.
typically things we're used to, but the .io, which is this tiny, tiny territory, has one, and that most people thought, or I didn't know what it stood for, but it is a country code top level domain. So basically IO. And there's this rumbling that it's going away, right? And so that's interesting. It's interesting to me because I have services with companies that use this .io as their main one. So some popular ones
Right.
is like canny.io. Now you may not be familiar right off the top of your head with Canny, but Canny is a service that a lot of internet companies use to gather communications with their customers. Like GoHighLevel has a candy where it's like, what features do you want? This one's coming, this one's in progress, etc. So a lot of companies use this candy.io. Some that we talked about on the show, castmagic.io. So that's a service that we mentioned. Mediaplace.io is something we mentioned. 11labs.io, which is one of the most popular AI voice services where you can clone your own voice and you can use all of, they have hundreds of voices that you can choose from over there. Their main website is on an IO, right? Futurepedia.io. This is one that where you can find some pretty cool resources there for AI. Switchy.io, one of the services we use for shortening our URLs. Tuni.io, and one of the most popular ones is Restream.io, right? So these services all use the .io as their main internet company's website. So if you have any, you may want to be concerned as well, because they say it's going away because the British territory, the things with the countries is changing, and so that's what's starting it off. All right. If you want to find some, this is what I do, Jerry. Like, go to your Gmail, and in where your search, in your search box inside of Gmail, put star.io, and you'll see companies that have emailed you from a .io, so you can see how many are there, right? So with that said, should you be concerned? Now, let's look one more thing. Um, all these abbreviations, right? So the ICANN, which is the Internet Corporation for Assigning Names and Numbers. This is the main company that all the domain name registers and stuff go through. And this was a few years ago, and this was related to another country code domain .yu that has was being changed over. And basically what they said was, in most cases, they're going to give reasonable transition period, right? Reasonable transition so that affected parties can transition to other domains, right? And so this is one. So if we start to look back in the past, well, what happened to other country codes that happened to, and what is ICANN saying? So again, this is, if we look back in the past, because what people are saying is just rhetoric, right? We don't know what's going to happen. We know that it could possibly go away. It may not go away. And my thought process is, typically when you have something that's generating money, unless there's something else that's going to generate more money, they're typically not going to just let stop receiving money. Typically, but that doesn't mean it can't happen. So if you have your own, you should kind of, you know, have a heads up and maybe have a backup plan. However, with that said, there are people talking about it's going to go away. And what ICANN has said in the past in the same situation is that if that is the case, they're going to give you reasonable time. The other thing that points to it may not going away is the use of the uh, S.su, which is the Soviet Union, which went away years ago, but they still have domains out there 25 years later with .su Soviet Union. So my take is this: if you have your own domains with the .io, I would make sure you'd have something else just in case they go to switch it over to. In that case, there will probably be a lot more information as time goes. I don't think anything's going to happen immediately. So if you have something set up on a .io, you don't have to be worried right now. So that's what I truly believe is important that you need to know about the IO domain names, and should you be concerned. So, Jerry, any thoughts you have about those domains, man?
Yeah, if you have one, you need to take action. But if it's a service, they're probably going to come up with something else and let you know if the domain name switches. Like they're a lot of these companies restream. They've been around for a while. So if they have to get rid of that domain, they're going to get a different domain, and then they'll let you know. But if you own one, I would highly recommend that you have, an
Yes,
alternative.
sir.
Try to
Yep,
search something else with just you still use the same name, but see if you can get a different dot and whatever after the dot.
that's right. That is right.
But I had
So,
no idea it was Indian Ocean. Like I was that
yeah,
I
no.
never would have got that one.
It's funny, we get these these domains, and we think that we know what they are. So I will tell you that AI, um,
That's artificial intelligence, right?
it is, but it wasn't at first, right? So there was a country, Anguilla, which that was for this. Again, it's a British territory, Anguilla, that the .ai was for. But artificial intelligence is so much bigger. It is just the artificial intelligence and not Anguilla. But
Yeah.
when it first dropped, it was for that country. So just a little fun fact for you if you ever get asked, and if you need to phone a friend, I know the answer to that one. So that's what's up.
Outside of like Canada, UK, and Australia, I don't really think about country codes when I think of domain names.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny because I don't. Back in the day, and not that long ago, there was ones that started getting popular right before the .io was the .xyz. It was a, and I don't believe that's a country code. I don't know what that one is, but I do know, domains that were getting picked up and that were selling for cheap was .xyz. So
Yeah.
that is what's going on with the industry news. Take care of your business with your domains. Moving on to our app of the week. I got a couple resources that I want to share with you. So we will jump back over to the computer so I can share it with you guys. All right. So we got it. It is maxai.me. So this one is pretty cool. I want to share it with you guys. Started using it the other day, and what it does, Jerry, is it will allow you to take a summary of a whole lot of stuff: PDFs, YouTube videos, websites, anything that you go on. It can give you a summary, and you can then utilize and chat with that summary to give you the kind of summary you want. It's really, really unique. This is not a free service, right? You can add it to Chrome for free, and they will let you try it out for free. But if you really want to get the good stuff, you have to upgrade to the paid version. And if you are creating content on the internet, this is something I think would be worth the monthly fee. They have different price ranges based on, we can go take a look, based on, you know, on what you're doing. If you're doing monthly, it can be $40 a month for the elite. The pro is $20 a month, and you can even rock the free one to get a couple stuff to get a good feel for it. So that's what it is on monthly, and you save almost 40% if you do yearly for any of these plans. Okay, so check this out. If I go over to one of my videos and I hit this summarize, right? So I can hit summarize, it will give me a summarize, the key takeaways, right here. And then you can also have it do more things, but answer questions or come with these questions. And you can chat with it right here if you want it to do something else. So the cool thing about this can take, these summaries of longer videos or PDFs that may be, 40, 50, 100 pages, or 30 pages, whatever, and it'll give you the summary, the most important points. It's really, really good at pulling out what's really important and giving you a summary of it. And then you can do other things with it. So it kind of sits right over here on the sidebar, and then you can click it and do different things that you want. So I would definitely recommend you guys come over to maxai.me and check out this resource. It is something I highly recommend you guys look, especially if you're creating content. They got this thing here, and you can summarize any of these things: Facebook, LinkedIn, websites, anything. So highly recommend maxai.me. It's a great resource, and a lot of businesses and services are using it. Again, if you're going to create content, this is one I highly recommend: maxai.me. All right, and Jerry, I got one more. That I want to share with you, and that is an AppSumo deal called Video to Page. So it's very similar to Max AI, except it kind of focuses on transcribing and creating content from videos. That's why that's the name Video to Page. And if you want something that you don't have to consistently keep paying for, like Max AI, then you can check out this Video to Page. It is an AppSumo Select. The name of it is Video to Page. And basically you drop in a YouTube video or URL to a video, and it will create tutorials. It'll create blog posts. It'll create SOPs. So my thought process is sometimes I'm looking at videos to do certain things in GoHighLevel, and instead of me having to take notes and create my own training from it, I can grab the SOP, and now I have an outline of the steps basically with this. You could do the same thing with Max AI, but this one again is a one-time deal. And if we scroll down, you can see they have different tiers based on the hours of transcription per month. Okay, so to start out, $70 for the 5 hours per month, and then it goes up from there. $149 for the 12 hours, and then you have the 3 tiers, and it goes all the way up to 5 tiers, which is over $800, but you get 130 hours of transcription per month. If you're using it as a service and you have clients that you're doing stuff for, this may be a great deal for the bigger ones. But for you, if you're just doing regular stuff and you can get by with 5 or between 5 and 12 hours, then I would look at license tiers 1 or 2 for this product, and it'll save you some money long term versus paying for something like Max AI, which you pay for every month. So that, Jerry, is the resource, the app of the week: maxai.me and AppSumo deal Video to Page. Cool. What you
Yeah,
think?
I saw that one. I got an alert about Video to Page a couple days ago, either yesterday or earlier today. But yeah, good stuff.
Nice. Nice. Uh-oh, we lost you. There we go. Cool. Yeah, man. I think that's definitely a good one. All right, man. So I'm ready to dive into today's main topic and talk about VSLs with GoHighLevel. But before we do, I want to talk about why I think this is important. Um, and you let me know your thoughts. But I think that people's time is important, and people are really distracted because of social media and AI, and a lot of people, including myself, as we scroll through social media or go through um, YouTube, It's always showing us things we're interested in. So it's really, really easy for us to get distracted. And I think when it comes to things we want now, if we're interested in learning something and there's a webinar for it and you have to select a time and date, a lot of times it's harder now than it was in the past to get people to show up because they're so distracted. And I'm kind of using myself as an example. Like if I want to learn something, I typically want to learn it right now, right? Because I'm in the I saw it. Okay, I want it, and I and either I'm going to save it for later, or I'm going to check it out right now. And if I know how long it is and I have the time, I may dive in right now. So I think it's more important now to have something that's automated, consistently running, rather than have to say this is happening at a certain time and date. I do think there's a place for it, but I think there's also a place for having something that's consistently running. So I want to share with you guys how to do that with GoHighLevel. And there's a few things you need to, a few pieces that if you put them together strategically, you can make sort of a semi-automated webinar, semi-VSL. So I'm going to talk about these features and then show you how to, these are the features that if you put them together can make this automated system. So before I dive in and show you one more thing, when I say automated, I'm saying there's like registration page, and then there's a page that has the recording of the VSL. So video is video sales letter, webinar is technically a webinar. But in this case, it's a pre-recorded webinar or pre-recorded video, right? I don't recommend you saying it's live if it's not live. People are smart, people can tell, right? And a lot of times, the other thing, and you let me know what you think about this, Jerry, we've learned, and I think most people who are in business, looking at business, working in business to business, they learn the things because information travels so fast. So, in 2024, having people engage on a live event is a strategy that most people on those platforms already know what the presenters are doing by getting them to engage. They want to get what's a quote unquote known as uh, the small yes. Like if you can get someone to engage means one, they're paying attention because you got to fight to get them to pay attention. But you also are getting that small yes, right? So, where you're tuning in from, give me a one if you like this thing. Like you've seen that, you've heard that. Like, put a two in the comments if you think they're trying to get you to engage. I don't think that is as powerful today as it has been like during the pandemic and in the past few years. I think people kind of know what people are doing now, and I don't think it's as powerful as it was before. And I think in certain markets maybe, but I think overall for most of us, it's not that it doesn't play that big of a part in terms of the sales aspect of it. Would like to get your feedback before we share how to do it.
Yeah, I agree with you. You always got to be adapting, adjusting with the times because people get. I was on a Zoom last night and talking about marketing with the nonprofit, and they were talking about how the open rate is going down. Like people were into the messages, they were into the updates, and then if you keep using the same structure, keep using the same setup, keep using the same framework, then eventually it seems like a rerun. It seems like, oh, I've seen this episode before. So you always want to be coming up with new ideas so it doesn't seem like it's a repeat of what you had before.
Yes, agreed. So with that, my thought is instead of having it as a webinar where you're trying to get engagement, just have it as a video and make it shorter and let people decide. So this is how you can do it inside of GoHighLevel. So I'm going to use their help desk to show you all these things, and then you can put it together yourself. So give me 1 second. Boom, I'm going to jump over here. So this first one that we're going to look at is video tracking, right? Yes, it's video tracking. So GoHighLevel has the ability, if you upload your video into their platform, for you to track the videos. And so with this, one of the things that I found, one of the secrets that I found, and if you go to their support, it's help.gohighlevel, and you put in video tracking, you'll find this help, right? So it's video tracking. And you can come here and you can read how to do it, but I'm going to make this, blow this up. One of the features inside the editor when you drop the video, Jerry, is this feature right down here. It says redirect unregistered visitors and select the page to redirect to. So if you create this opt-in page like you normally would for a webinar or a VSL anyway, you'd have the page that you'd select for them to opt into. What this does, Jerry, if someone shares the URL to the page that the video is on, No one can play the video until they register. So I think that's dope because now you don't have to worry about someone sharing the URL and someone, like, hey, go watch this thing, and you don't have to sign in. Here's the link. It's going to force them to sign in. So that's really, really important. Really, really key feature there. So then, if you use this feature, the tracking feature, we can start to combine this feature with some of the others. So this first one is video tracking. Allows you to make sure people register. So this way you capture the email address. So you're list building. And the other one is if you want to track how long they watch, like you can go through this and it'll point out, you can track how long they watch. So you can say if they watch 50%, if they watch 75% extra, and you can tag them based on that, based on how long they watch, right? And so and one of the things in automated webinars, you want to kind of respond to people based on how long they interacted. And so you could do that with this by tagging them and then creating an automation based on that tag. So with that, oh, this is video tracking, right? So video tracking was just what I was talking about. And here's where this is exactly what I was talking about, specific percentages. And you can basically assign them to start on a path based on the percentage, 25%, 50, 70%, etc. Right? So this is some of the features that these automated video services have that is built into GoHighLevel that you may not be aware of, right? So you have the video tracking. So we're going to combine this progress by making people opt in with the tracking to set up things based on how long they watch. So you know if they watch at least to the point where you make your offer or not. And then we're going to use one of these features to show and hide elements on a button click. So this is one that's optional, but I thought it's really important for you guys to know is that you can basically hide an element on a page based on whether they click the button or not, right? So you can, this can show an order form. This can show a calendar, booking calendar widget. And it doesn't have to be there for the whole time. They can only show up if they click the button, right? So now we're starting to get into more of these automated features for a webinar that you can use based on the action they take on the webinar. So you can have that button there, and then it's only going to show things when they click on it. So this is one is optional, but this other one is what really takes the cake. And so let me show you what to do. This one is called, what I typed in here is just, show hide elements. And you'll find this right here. It's called show and hide and show elements on button click. But if you do hide and show elements in the search, you'll be able to find it. And this last one is, boom, this one is display appearance on using a minute timer. Jerry, this one is the one that makes it all happen. So now you have them watching the video and you can set a minute timer on there to show a specific thing at a certain time. So typically an automated webinar fashion is when you get to, if it's a selling webinar, you get to the point in your presentation where you make the offer and you give them so much time to register, right? So in this particular case, you can show the order form on the page right below the video. At that particular point, using this minute timer, you can say at X number of minutes, show the element, and it can show the order form. And so this way, you coordinate this with the time you say it on the video for them to see the order form and or the calendar booking widget. Maybe you're not selling, but maybe you're saying, hey, if you're interested, just book a call now. And this way, this thing is always running consistently. It's available when people want to do it instead of making people wait for a specific time. This can be always running, and you have the ability to make all these things happen within GoHighLevel. Most people don't realize if you put these things together, you can automate this whole process. So this is the way you can make an automated VSL or webinar using just GoHighLevel, using the automated, this is a minute timer. There's another timer called a countdown timer. So you want to make sure you use the right one. And then once you have the countdown timer on there, counting down to the time you want, then you just make it not visible by hiding it on the page. So now, even though it's there counting down and going to show stuff, it doesn't, people don't see it counting down. So that is how you can create an automated webinar using GoHighLevel and their features. So I'm going to give you the features again. It is video tracking, right? So you can track the progress funnels, and then you want to make sure that it is, boom, redirects on page to play. So this keeps only people who build that list, give you that email, get to see the video. You do the video tracking, optional if you want to track so much time, to have certain automated based on the time they watched. You can show and hide a button if you want to, but you can also do the countdown show hide based on the minute timer. So when the minute hits 0, show this element. And now you can combine these features to make an automated webinar inside of GoHighLevel. And that, my friend, is how you do it with GoHighLevel.
Awesome.
Yes, yes. So with that, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. If you have any questions or you want to see how we do it, I am having a workshop this weekend, and if this is in the past, you can grab the recording if you're catching this replay, and it is past this weekend coming up, where I will show you how to fully take all these and do it step by step and take you by the hand. So if you're technical enough to follow the things and figure it out, you can go ahead. If you want, I'm having a special workshop this weekend on how to do it. And if you want to get information on that, make sure you join the group technologytuesday.com so that you can see the post about the upcoming workshop and you can register. Jerry, any last minute words?
Nah, man, good to go. I think you dropped a lot of nuggets.
Yes, yes. So I hope this was valuable for you. If you found value in it and you know someone who could benefit it, please share it with share it with them, and make sure you join the group at technologytuesday.com. With that, I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and I can't wait to share with you what we got lined up for you next week on another exciting episode of technologytuesday.com. Until then, take care. Have a blessed week. Oh, we have another technical issue.